Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Weeknights. I am JD, aka He Who Pods. Glasses on today, so also rear view mirror.
And I'm Dash, aka Dashy D,
Yeah.
aka the real king of R&B, aka Recovery Baddie.
That was funny. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Dash is back in full capacity. Yes.
Thank you, thank you so much. Listen, I don't know how I'm doing this, but I'm doing it.
All
Not
right, listen.
100%, but I'm here. I'm present.
Hey,
Um,
what Kanye said? My presence is a presence. Kiss my ass.
yeah. Full transparency. My doctor did extend my leave for 2 more weeks, so I'm like, I'm better, but I'm not 100%. So,
Right.
if I wince every now and again,
Or if you gotta walk off early,
right, if I have to tap out a little early or whatever it is, or if I seem like I'm rushing through the topics,
y'all know what's up. Y'all know why.
it's because I am still healing, but, I'm here. So I figured
Right.
since I don't actually have work to do, that I could I could manage, sitting for a few minutes to do this because sitting for long periods of time is
Challenging.
challenging. So, yeah, but let's
I should have
get
wore
into
like a
it.
full suit today for your return. You know what I'm
I know
saying?
we should have had some
We should have.
champagne or
Right.
something.
We didn't think
Although,
about that part.
yeah,
We were just busy
also
planning the pod.
right, but we should have done something celebratory. I feel like some confetti,
Right.
maybe a disco ball or something, just
Disco
a bit
ball.
twirling. I don't know, but
Right.
feels like the right thing to do. I do have a little coffee, so I'm just gonna, I'm gonna sip
As you
my
should.
coffee.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to
I
do. I should
just,
have had a coffee. That's what I should have did.
yeah. I'm also like, I've become late wake up baddie. Like, I don't wake up before like 9 a.m.
Nice.
So like, this coffee is very important right now because
Got to have the coffee. Oh yeah, because we're
I'm
recording
just,
it not at
I
night.
don't, I don't even know what I'm gonna do when it's time to wake up for, you know, to be a
6,
nine to
7
fiver
a.m.
again.
Right. You better start transitioning. They say it
Yeah, I
takes
gotta
two
do like
weeks.
the
They say it
kids.
takes 2 weeks to build a habit. So
I gotta do like the kids in August before they go back to school, where the parents start saying, "All right,
oh, people still do
back
that?
to
I
old
know my daughter.
bedtime."
My daughter do not do that. My daughter be like, "Yeah, I start school next week, but I went to bed at 4 last night." I'm like, "Okay," but she
Well,
troops through. I got to give her props because when school starts, she be right there. I'm like, "Hey, baby, you up?" She's like, "Dad, I'm already at school, and I don't want to talk to anybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye." I'm like, "All right, my bad, player."
I feel like the teenagers have it though. I feel like they're a lot more resilient. My
Hmm.
niece will be like, "Let's be up all night," and then she'll be like, "I'm gonna set my alarm for 5 a.m. so I can go in the shower at 5 a.m." And then my sister
Hmm.
goes, she's sound asleep, and all of a sudden she hears somebody in the bathroom. She gets up at 5 a.m. when she's supposed to. I don't know how she does it. I'm like, what you mean 4 a.m. and then you want me to get up at 5?
Yep.
No, please. They listen. They're more resilient. They're
I
they're
was
they're
I was like that as
prepared.
a teenager. My
Yeah,
best friend, my best friend used to call me a cell phone. He used to say Jay only needs an hour or two and he's good to go
yeah, yeah. I mean,
for the
listen.
day, like for another 24 hours.
And then I feel like what would happen is like once every few weeks, feel like they have like a recharge day where they
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
want to get
yeah.
up.
You gotta take like a Saturday and just sleep the whole day
Yeah.
because you're gonna be up all night anyway.
Exactly.
You get up
So,
Saturday like dinner time,
mhm.
and then you'd be like, "All right, yeah, listen, no, after I eat dinner with the family, I'm gonna be over there. Don't worry, I'm out."
Yeah. And this, listen, since I've been gone from the pod, I've had a whole birthday, and lots of life changes. So now I have no desire to do any of that. I'm gonna get up when I'm ready to get up.
All right.
I got up at 9:45 this morning. just not ready to take on the world.
I totally understand. But we do have to start this pod though,
We do. Let's go.
because we kicking it, and that's cool. But we still got a job to do.
It's been a long time, so I feel like I gotta give the people something. Can't get
You
straight to
gotta you
business.
gotta get reacquainted with the people.
Yeah, yeah.
I respect that. Well, once again, welcome back, Dash.
Thank you.
Right now, let's get to business. Literally business. This is from Routers. It's been everywhere. I just like Routers.
Hmm.
It says here TikTok building new version of app ahead of expected US sale. The information reports.
Hmm.
TikTok is building a new version of the app for users in the United States ahead of a planned sale of the app to a group of investors. The information reported on Sunday, citing unnamed sources.
Hmm.
This comes as a this comes as US President, y'all know his name, said on Friday
Right.
he will start talking to China on Monday. That's today when we're recording this, or Tuesday, about a possible TikTok deal. He said the United States, quote, pretty much has a deal on the sale of the TikTok short video app. That's funny that they say short video app. Anyway, TikTok has developed a plan to launch the new app to the US app stores on September 5th, the report said. The report added that TikTok users will eventually have to download the new app to be able to continue using the service, although the existing app will work until March of next year, though the timeline could change. TikTok did not immediately respond to a router's request for comment. Routers could not immediately confirm the report.
Hmm.
A deal had been in the works earlier this year to spin off TikTok's US operations into a new US based firm. I almost said film. Firm,
Hmm.
majority owned and operated by the US investors that was put on hold after China indicated it would not approve it following Trump's announcements of sleep tariffs on Chinese goods. There you go. So new TikTok is coming. I'm shocked my daughter didn't scream oh hell no from the other room.
Well, we don't really know what it's gonna be, right? Like we have no real idea of what new TikTok is. I know that people are terrified because people are always terrified of change, and that's kind of the feedback I've been seeing. Oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? I mean, you
Right.
guys are still gonna have your app. The question is, what is it gonna look like? What
Yeah.
are the rules? What is the fine print that no one reads, but it affects everybody at some point? I think
Yes.
that's what the questions people need to be asking. I don't necessarily think people need to be afraid. Y'all want the app to stay. So
Right.
he's, for
They.
whatever it's worth, trying to figure out a way to keep the app alive in the US. Listen, I don't know. We all know that there are lots of hidden agendas when it comes to this social media business and the
Yep.
government, right?
Yep.
So I'm not negating any of those things. I'm simply saying, I mean, it kind of is what it is, and whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. I don't know if there's a world where TikTok this negatively affects TikTok to the point where users will not use it anymore.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think that there's a lot. I think that as long as the app remains a space where people can share like a wide range of ideas and information and make money off of it, because that is the key here. If they change the infrastructure to the point where people are now not able to monetize on TikTok, I think that's when the app takes a nosedive. But it
Um,
doesn't really seem like that's what they're trying to do. It doesn't seem like they're trying to bar people from that experience. So, I don't know.
no, the president is doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He was going to make them sell it to the U.S. or
Mm,
a portion of it to the U.S., and that's what he's done.
yeah. So, I mean, I think it means he's going to have access to all your information even more so than he does now.
Yeah.
But but the reality of the situation is y'all never really cared about that.
Nope. Nope.
So
Nope. Nope.
because if we cared, we wouldn't be on social media. We wouldn't, and I'm not saying we, like, I'm just saying in general. I don't think people even, some people just can't fathom that. Like they don't read terms and conditions. They have no idea about that. They just know they're on the internet sharing
Yep.
or watching people share. Some
Yep.
people know about it, but it's almost like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't, because social media is so ingrained in everything we do, down to business, especially business.
Yep.
So it's kind of hard not to participate in it. So I don't know. I kind of feel like y'all gonna complain that it's different if it really is that different,
But
but
they're
then
still
you're
going to
gonna
be
use
on
it
it.
anyway,
Yeah, of course.
which is fine.
Yeah.
I
Because what
mean,
has happened is we have been conditioned to use social media, all of us,
yeah.
24/7. And so, yeah, people are going to say it's different. They're going to complain they don't like the new interface, whatever. Oh, now there's ads that shouldn't be here, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to, because they're conditioned, they're still going to jump on it and use it. It's not going to be, they're not going to boycott. This country
Yeah.
doesn't really boycott.
No. It's like the fake. Well, I shouldn't say it's fake. People are really not going to Target, but there are people
Never.
going to Target.
I'm about to say I've been over. Niggas is in Target.
Listen, the thing that pisses me off the most is the people who are in Target when you go to Target. I go to Target. Y'all could slam me. I'm sorry. It's convenient for me. Everybody doesn't have the same situation. So when everybody's talking about, sister soldier and whatnot, we're not actually thinking about people's everyday lives. I I do go to Target. Y'all wanna not consume my content because I go to Target. Totally understand. Anyway, what's funny to me is the people who are in Target, but then they see another black person in Target and they go, "Well, why are you here? Why the hell are you here?"
Oh yeah, all those videos. Hey, y'all know we're not supposed to be
Yeah.
in Target. Nigga, you are in Target.
You got here before me. What are you what are you talking about? I don't even pay no mind to nobody in Target. What I will say is that going into Target now versus going into Target pre DEI rollbacks, different. A lot less
Mhm.
people in there. So there's a lot of people holding on to this. But the thing is, how long? Because there's one creator, won't call him out, that I follow that was like, oh man, hate that Target did this. Oh my gosh, not gonna go to Target. But just the other day, I saw her talk about her little outfit she got from Target, and I said, see, that's what I'm not doing.
Right, right,
Outside of this conversation, I don't go around the internet talking about, look what I got from Target, or, just
right.
went to pick up some Clorox wipes from Target. No, just, and we
Yeah.
won't talk about as that's what we was the topic we'll have to talk about that tomorrow. Essence Fest just happened.
Uh,
Um but we won't talk about the fact that they were the biggest sponsor at Essence Fest,
that's smart of them, but we'll talk about it tomorrow.
a festival that is widely for and by black women. Um
Yep.
let's move on.
Let's.
Dash is back.
Yep. Yes, yes, it is. This is what it's like when Dash is back.
Yeah.
So another thing that was all over the internet, but
Mm,
here's one website that I saw wrote about it.
mm,
Rolling Stone. This is from Rolling Stone. It says Chris Brown's lawsuit over alleged nightclub attack dismissed
okay.
by accuser.
Mm-hmm.
A
When
music
I'm
producer. Huh?
sorry, I was gonna say when I'm turning to the side, by the way, it's because I'm looking at my laptop. I can't put it in my lap, so
Oh no, no worries. I didn't even see you because I was reading the article.
yeah, but
A music
I'm sure
producer.
somebody's gonna be like, why is she doing that? I'm looking at my laptop.
Way to get ahead of it.
Yeah.
A music producer who accused Chris Brown of beating him with a tequila bottle and then stomping him. I'm sorry.
That's not funny. That's not funny. Why is that funny to you?
Because I'm sorry.
No, share it with the class. What's so funny?
Because a grown man accusing another grown man of these details is kind of wild. Like, I knew the bottle. I knew the bottle, right? But I didn't know, quote, and then stomping him. I did not
That is
know
so
of them
sad.
stomping him. Damn.
That is not funny. That is actually really sad.
All right. Um,
I mean, who
at
else
a
would be
London,
doing that other than another grown man?
but just like putting those details there, I understand. Listen, coming off the Diddy trial, we have heard a lot of things
Anything is
in
possible.
details that we did not expect from grown-ups.
Hmm.
But I just wasn't ready when I read that just now. I didn't have my force fields up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Um, yeah. Um, and then stopping him at a London nightclub has dropped his lawsuit against the singer. Billboard reported the news, citing Los Angeles court documents in which Amadou Abe Diol requested Friday that his suit against Brown be dismissed with prejudice, meaning the case cannot be filed again in court. A settlement between the two parties has not yet been confirmed. Brown was accused of attacking Dior in February 2023, resulting in a hospitalization later a $16 million lawsuit related to the attack. Brown pleaded not guilty to a charge of grievous bodily harm with intent, the New York Times previously reported. Dior's lawsuit also accused Brown of having, quote, inflicted severe and lasting injuries from the attack, including lacerations on his head and torn ligaments in his leg, and that he suffered, quote, serious and permanent emotional distress and trauma following the alleged lawsuit. Yeah, so I don't know why you would want that dropped. That's really serious. Now I kind of feel bad for laughing.
Well, I mean,
Um, it says the
right.
sing. Oh, this is important though. It says the singer is still facing criminal charges stemming from the case. Brown was arrested in May at a Manchester hotel and was charged with the count of causing grievous bodily harm with intent, as well as assault causing actual bodily harm and carrying an offensive weapon. A judge initially ruled that he could be held without bail due to extremely serious allegations against him. The artist spent several days in jail. Y'all remember that? Until a judge granted him a $6.7 million bail during a custody hearing.
Which he was able to put up, so he got out.
It's nice to be rich, man. Sheesh, six point
Yeah,
seven mil. God damn,
and,
shit.
and he went right back to the
Holy.
stage.
And went right back to the stage to get those millions back.
The Breezy Bowl is on. At that point, he was in the European leg of the tour.
Yep.
He's now in the U.S. Looks like the tour goes all the way through September, maybe
Mm,
even longer.
yeah.
Um, and you going?
Nope.
Oh, it goes through October, and then yeah, it goes through October. You're not going?
No.
You don't want to see him go wall to wall?
I assume that's a song reference. I'm not familiar. Sorry. But I think Chris Brown is an amazing performer, but I'm not the biggest Chris Brown fan, so I would be. It wouldn't make a lot of sense for me to go.
You don't want to see him so you could say, yo?
I mean, you're the Chris Brown fan here. The
I
question
mean,
is, are you going?
no. I said that
Okay.
before. Um, no.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I
let's.
I have seen a
Oh,
lot of Chris Brown concerts.
yes, you have discussed that here before. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it, but I'm just saying that's why I don't have any interest in this. I also don't listen to Chris Brown. I said very publicly a few years ago
You
that
have.
I wasn't going to listen to Chris Brown like that anymore.
Yeah. I
And
remember I was asking you
I
about
don't.
1111, and you was like, "What's that?
Yeah, I haven't
What's
listened
11?
to.
Should I make a wish? Is that what you're trying to tell me?" And I was like, "No, it's Chris Brown."
Yeah, after
Everyone is talking about it, and you were like, "Oh, I won't be talking about it. I won't be listening."
yeah, the last album I listened to was Heartbreak on a Full Moon. I haven't listened to a Chris Brown album since then, and I have not gone to a concert since then. I hear him on the radio sometimes, and yeah, the songs are catchy. I sing along. I haven't forgotten. My muscle memory is still there, but
Right. I still bust a
outside
move.
of that, yeah. But if I'm turning on some music, it's not usually Chris Brown.
I got you. Well, let's circle back to the lawsuit. I think it's really interesting that the case the gentleman dropped the case on his end, especially after such severe injuries. I would expect that you would keep that. Now, what I'm curious about, and we don't know the answer to yet, because even routers, even the end of the article, Rolling Stone said um, they were unable to confirm certain things as far as was the settlement reached or not.
My
Also, they
guess
said that
is
Chris
it never
Brown.
was.
They also said Chris Brown did not respond for comment, but I'm curious what's going to happen next because I would imagine that even if the person dropped out of his part of the legal side of things,
Hmm.
that the civil side of things is still standing. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen with that. I'm also curious to see what's going to happen with the case because, as we just read, the case is not over. So it says dismissed, but it's interesting that it's really not done. So
No.
um, it's
Yeah.
kind of like misleading,
Yeah. To me, it
but
sounds like maybe they came to some sort of agreement. Um,
right.
and what that probably means is that his lawyers are working to make the rest of it go away.
Yeah. Well, I thought that
Um,
already when he went over there and went to jail because he turned himself in,
yeah.
and it didn't look like he was, picked up at the airport and it was some embarrassing, shocking, uh, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Is a word that starts with A. It's when they like jump you, and
Accost,
you're shocked. What's it?
accost, accost him.
No, no, no. I
Assault.
think of the word and come. Nah, it's like when you get, caught off guard by the other side. It's fine. It doesn't look like he was caught off guard. It doesn't look like he was, shocked when this happened. My understanding is he turned himself in. So I think they were already working to make this go away. So it makes sense to me that these things are rolling this way. But I think what's interesting is that it's not over yet. So I agree that his lawyers are probably working with him to dismiss everything, make everything go away in one way or another. But I'm curious to see how the rest of this will unfold.
Yeah.
And if we'll hear a settlement number, because yeah, I agree. It sounds like even though a settlement was not confirmed, it's either already happened or it's in the works.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's it's so I never know what to do with this sort of thing because it's like I was very confused about why he would go back to Europe.
Mhm.
I guess I shouldn't say that I'm confused by it. He makes a lot of money in Europe.
Mhm.
That's a reason to go back to Europe. It just seemed like he created more problems for himself than not. And I guess my thought was like how much how what's the price? But I guess when you have big fancy lawyers and can make stuff go away, then a couple days in jail really don't mean as much to you as the average person. So I don't know
Well, the
because
other thing is the longer you wait, the worse things get. A lot of
which
times because
makes
then
sense.
they say you're running away, you're trying
Yeah,
to avoid it,
yeah,
all of these different things, and so your consequences increase, and
yeah.
so do your and the leniency from the judge decreases in that sense
Yeah,
because they'll
that
say,
makes
"Hey,
sense.
we've been trying to get this thing settled." I'm
Right.
exaggerating what I'm about to say, but they'll say, "For the last 10 years, we've been trying to get you to come back and deal with this. Now you're asking for bail or a lesser sentence or for the state to dismiss it, and they won't because you've been
Hmm.
running." Again, hyperbole, I'm giving an extreme example,
Hmm.
but that's kind of one of the things that people ignore. And it's
Hmm.
like, yo, you waited so long that now they just want to throw the book at you because they're fed
Hmm.
up. So
Yeah.
I think it's wise that he got it. Um, that he went to go start the process.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, time for our last topic, and I don't know how this one's gonna go, but let's talk about it. So Drake did not listen to my advice.
or mine.
I said Drake should go chill.
Hmm.
He should sit up
Hmm.
until the fall and come back with a banger. And if he comes back with a banger, he'll be embraced by the fans and the culture. But he didn't listen to me. And
Drake
he
always
dropped.
has one cooking. Even if it's
Yeah.
good, if even if it's not, listen, you can cook. It don't mean the food tastes good.
Sometimes it's bland. Sometimes it's burned. Sometimes it's undercooked. There's just a lot of. Sometimes it's just straight up raw. You know,
Yeah,
I watch some Gordon Ramsay shows with my daughter, and sometimes even chefs who've been in the game for years, they'll send him raw food up to the pass.
yeah.
But Drake dropped a new song. Drake dropped a
Mhm.
song called "What Did I Miss."
The
Um,
memo, Drake. The memo. What do you
Drake dropped a
mean? What
song
did you
called
miss?
"What Did I
We told
Miss."
you what to do. Sorry,
No, you're right. I'm with you.
Dash is
He
back.
dropped a song called "What Did I Miss," and it started as something he put out on a live stream,
Hmm.
and I'm trying to find the name of it. I thought it was in this article, maybe not. All right, yes, it is.
Hmm.
So he dropped a. It's called Iceman Episode One. It's a live stream where he drove around Toronto in a truck, and it had fake telephone numbers and a website called theiceman.com.
Yeah.
And he was circling around Toronto, and he in this stream debuted the song, and then he put it out, I believe, the next day or later that day. And so, yeah, man, the song is called "What Did I Miss?" And there's some lines that people are pointing directly to,
Yeah.
where he says, "Last time I looked to my right, you niggas was standing beside me. How come some people I love hang around pussies who try me?"
Now, Drake, why did you call that man that? Because you know he's not. So, I mean,
Then he said,
if you know if said kitty cat is supposed to be uh
"It's
Kendrick,
Kendrick." Yes,
like
yes.
let's accept it's so sometimes when men fight, men gotta be like they got you got when you're fighting with somebody, forget men, you gotta know your opponent, right? You gotta the fight is easier if you understand your opponent.
Which we know he didn't the first
And
time,
you
because this
right,
this
and
to me
if
sounds like round two is coming.
right. And if you don't underestimate your opponent, the last thing you want to do in a battle, a duel, a competition, whatever, is underestimate your opponent. Drake, I don't know how, but he still seems to think that somehow Kendrick is not up for the task. I think he just says it. I don't even think he believes it. I think he fully knows that he's up for it. But, sir, why? Because why are you calling him that? You didn't even have to call him that because that's not true. By whatever
And
standards
and
we use in the
and really
culture, that is not true.
and really, if someone is a kitty cat,
It's
it's
him.
probably Drake.
Right.
Drake also said, which the internet ran to and has been
Mhm.
discussing. He says, "I'm back in your city tonight, walking around with my head high. I saw a bro at the pop out."
LeBron James.
Yo,
Ow. That
I'm
hurt.
gonna tell you something. Let me tell you something before I say the rest of this
That hurt.
line. One thing you gotta respect about Drake, whether you love him or hate him, Drake is going to be a messy bitch.
Listen, the
Whether you
pettiest
love him
of
or
them
hate
all.
him,
That's my favorite
Drake
part
is
about
going
him.
to be a messy bitch, okay? Drake is
Listen,
going to address the things that he saw and the things that he heard, okay?
I say petty or nah, but for Drake, he's
It's
definitely
always
petty.
petty. Always
Definitely
petty.
petty, okay? And
Drake
this
is always
and to
petty.
that point, right? Can I just say real quick
Please
that
do.
I like content Drake. I like Drake as a content baddie. I think that's a lane that Drake needs to continue to pour into. I
Expand. What do
know
you mean by content
I
baddie?
know
What you
that
mean?
everybody laughs at him when he posts his fake abs
Oh my
on
god.
Instagram.
We didn't even discuss that
I
up
know
here.
that sometimes he just be posting the boys in the house doing the things or whatever, or they out somewhere real upscale and real fancy, just sitting there in their street clothes, having a good time. Drake is really good at content. This Iceman thing that he did, I thought was smart. Forget about the battle, forget about him rapping. I think if Drake really wants to do something right now, this minute in 2025, July, become a content baddie, Drake. You already doing it. You already dipping your toe in it. Fine. You want to do episodes where you drive around and talk to the people? I actually think he's good at that. I think the carrying on with the nonsense and getting involved with Kendrick and all of them, whatever. But I think Drake has space for that, and I think he has a huge fan base who wants more of that. Do it, Drake. Do it. You seem like you're bored. You seem like you're bored. So continue with your content. Take. We don't need the music. Continue with your content. Continue with your episodes of Iceman. Go drive around and talk to the fans. And I don't know, you should even like have somebody else in the car with you sometimes. Like this could become a whole big thing. I think Drake sometimes is short sighted. Cause this, like, it's like when Nicki did, ooh,
Queen Radio?
I'm gonna have to get up soon, but it's like when Nicki did
Queen Radio?
Queen Radio. People loved Queen Radio. I only
Yeah.
tuned in maybe once or twice, but people loved Queen Radio because yeah, she was acting crazy, but she was also just being Nicki, and people appreciate that. The thing that you can sell beyond your music is your personality if you have one.
Yeah.
And as much as we might make fun of Drake or whatever, Drake is tapped into the internet. So be on the internet. I'm not saying try to become Joe Budden. That would look weird. But what I'm saying is, why not find your own lane when it comes to this stuff? Because there is room for everybody and there is enough for everybody to eat. I wouldn't be worried about releasing music. It's a smart way to release music, just so I'm clear. If you're gonna do something like that and you're putting out music, then yeah, I think it was smart that along with what he was doing with the Iceman thing, he released a song. If that's what he wants to do. But I actually like contextually, I think this is not bad for Drake. I think
I
it's the
think the
music
problem
part that
comes
annoys
when
me.
right, and that's what I'm about to say. I think the problem comes when Drake tries to do both. If you're a smaller act, it is beneficial, but I think because Drake is such a popular person in multiple genres, for Drake to be doing live streams, for Drake to be doing what you called internet baddie shit, I think that's when Drake does himself a disservice because those abs look terrible and that will be in other people's songs. And Drake doesn't like that. So I think for Drake, that will be doing himself a disservice if he's going to keep doing music. Now, if he quits music and dives into content like Joe Budden, then yeah, then knock yourself out because it won't matter anymore. You're no longer doing music. But it looks like Drake is going to continue to do music. And I think those things have
Yeah.
always been the things that allow people to clown him further because you're giving people more shit to laugh at, to critique, to judge, etc.
It's
Back
also
to the line.
strategy. Sorry. I was gonna say
No, it's
it's also
okay.
it's also about strategy, right? Like you
Mhm.
have to, if the music is also still important, which I would argue that Drake doesn't see the music as important as he used to. But if the music is still important, then you gotta tweak your content a little bit. Like
Yeah.
sure, maybe not post your abs, but I guess it's not necessarily about the abs specifically. It's more of the fact that he has the audacity to post it, and sometimes, no, a lot of the time, the audacity to be out there and on the internet is what you need to be successful in creating content. So I think that's what I get how it conflicts with his music career, but I'm just saying the fact that he is comfortable and confident in that space is why he would be good at it if he really actually took it seriously and maybe strategized a little bit. And that's what I'm saying.
No, I understand that, and I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying he doesn't like when people call that stuff out in their music. He doesn't like when
Right.
people poke fun at him in the entertainment industry. He gets upset, he takes it personal, he raps about it. So I think
Mm-hmm.
you can't, I think doing both is the conflict. Now, if he's
Mm-hmm.
just going to do content, then go ahead, man, show us the abs and, fake jog around the corner as much as you want.
Uh-huh.
Um, he says, I saw a bro at the pop out with them. Been dick riding gang since headlines. And that is a shot at LeBron, as you said when I read the first part. Uh, he says LeBron been on his thing since headlines.
He said LeBron's been on his thing.
Yep.
I, you know,
I think as much as people are talking about the shit talking, I think people are really missing the fact that Drake is really hurt by this LeBron relationship.
I think they are. I agree with you. And what I was about to say was, I
And
kind
who's
of
the other
want
one?
LeBron and Drake to make up.
Oh, the other one is DeMar DeRozan. That's the other one that he's really hurt
Mm.
about. He rapped about that one too a while ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want Drake and LeBron to make up?
I do.
Why?
Probably not for Savannah. Savannah was probably like,
Oh, Savannah was.
like,
I think I think it's
no.
pretty clear how she feels.
Yeah, Savannah was like, you are a married man and he wants to be a baddie so bad. And you need to
You better,
get your
you
ass
better bring
home.
your ass home.
Yeah, right. Like, that's, and I understand. She's a
Mm-hmm.
woman with a husband and children. She wants her man at home by a certain time. Totally understandable. Not mad at it. Okay? Okay? Listen, he travels all over. He does all the things. Get your ass home at a decent hour. You don't. That man don't got no wife. He don't got too many responsibilities. You got more responsibilities than he does. Is the point, and you need to get your
A
ass
lot
home.
more. A lot more.
Way more. Now,
And
but
and and just real quick, and them being out and about and posting content affects both of them very differently.
both of them.
Because LeBron, yes, he's also they both allegedly they're both billionaires. I don't know if that's true or not, but they're both
Mm-hmm.
high millionaires for certain, if not
Uh huh.
billionaires, both. We know Drake is worth hundreds of millions. We don't know if it's a billion or not. They say yes, but we haven't confirmed. We know
Mm-hmm.
LeBron is a billionaire. We know LeBron is the face of the NBA. Drake is the face of hip hop, whether you like it or not. But what the
Yeah.
difference comes is Drake being out and about and quote turning up works in his benefit most of the time. Where LeBron, who's trying to be an NBA team owner, who's trying to make his, who's been trying to get a lot of things done in the NBA, including getting his son to the league. It's looked at in a bad way by the NBA when they're like, "Come on, man, we got your son in the league. People are criticizing him, and you out shaking ass."
Right. And people don't like to. I feel like people don't really talk about this publicly, but it's a very common thing for people in business, whatever the business may be, and in certain industries, it is
Mm-hmm.
very common for it to look better if you have, we hear this most with politicians, but if you have a wife, a family, you look stable, you
Right.
look like
Don't
you
party.
have morals, you have strong values,
Right.
you're trustworthy. There's a whole long list of traits that people associate with someone who's married or has children that we don't a lot of times talk about. And
Right.
that's what makes LeBron desirable in a lot of ways to a lot of different types of business, a lot of
Businesses.
different areas of business.
I
We
agree.
don't really have that conversation. Sometimes to cut deals, At a business dinner, you bring your
You got
wife,
it. Right. And then you got
you
to sit your
know?
ass down
Right. So if they think you're out there shaking ass and
every night.
you're with this guy who is seemingly unpredictable, right? In the sense that he could do whatever he wants to do. He's gonna do whatever he's gonna do. Plus he has things that people are alleging about him, albeit in a song and, you know, whatever.
A minor.
Right. But that's not necessarily what you want. And I mean, other than wanting your man to be home at a certain time, you also don't want your money messed up because of that
Right.
guy.
Right.
So
Exactly.
there's also that. So
Yep.
I understand why they shouldn't be friends, if you will. But I also feel like you said, I think that Drake is actually hurt by
Yeah, I think so.
losing his relationship with LeBron. I
Because
also
this,
think
remember
that
that other song that got taken down?
yeah,
That was
it was a
also about
freestyle.
DeMar
That was about the.
DeRozan,
Hmm.
LeBron. He's hurt, man. Drake, listen, Drake is missing the bros.
He is. Um, and it's already hard. I would imagine it's already hard to find people who you can like really kick it with and really
Yeah.
trust in the entertainment industry. So to lose somebody who you were kicking it with heavy for a long time, I'm sure
Right.
is
Because
really
when was
disappointing.
headlines? 2009?
A
Let me look.
long time ago.
Let me look. You might find it first.
I got it right here.
Go ahead.
2011, August 9th, 2011.
Look at that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's a 13, 14-year relationship.
Look at me being able to fact check in real
Yes.
time.
Good to have that back.
But yeah, and that's a long time to have a friendship,
Yeah.
and
And
then
I think people are
you
running to
know,
the lines and excited, and that's cool, but I think the real thing is Drake is hurting and he's expressing that. Now, in this song he's
mhm,
doing it more in a shit talking way. In the song that got taken down, I don't remember the name. In that song it was not in a shit talking way. In that song it was like, yo, I can't believe this is happening. I'm hurt. And so I think he's kind of
mhm.
remixed it to sound a little more um braggadocious. But
Yeah,
Drake is
the
hurting.
ego kicked in.
Yeah. Last thing, did you like, what do you think about the song? We didn't really talk about our thoughts on the song.
I think the song is fine. I just don't get excited about Drake anymore. So I didn't even that wasn't even. It's fine. There's
Okay.
nothing wrong with it. I mean,
Yeah, I'm getting tired of the beat switches. I got to be honest. And I like the
uh,
first beat better than the second beat. I know people are probably going to like the second beat better. I like the first beat better.
yeah,
But I think like, yo dog, every song you drop doesn't need to have a beat switch. I know that's like the thing now in the industry,
yeah.
but I'm tired of it.
Well, at some point there will be another thing, and that will take its place.
Yeah. I hope
So
that's soon. All
we'll
right,
see.
we
Yeah,
will.
I'm struggling over here, so I think it's time.
I'm ready. No worries. I got you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Weeknights. Thank you for being here. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
I hope to be back tomorrow. This was rough.
Bye.
Bye.